I've been really debating on how and the why of me making a YouTube video, and I figured it was just time to make one. And I'm making this, I've come to terms that I'm making this video not because I aim to create some masterpiece or really to change anyone's opinion, but rather because I'm going through many thoughts, and it was time that I finally put them out there for people to enjoy, for people to view. So, today, I want to just talk about my thoughts on a few things. And the first thing is that I view humanity in the year 2024, soon to be 2025, as being at a crossroads, as we constantly are, at this crossroads between choosing the future of our species. Now, what is this crossroads? What is this crossroad, you may ask? It's very simple. Will we choose to continue the barbarity that I would argue that we have been practicing for a very, very long time, or will we choose a future for our species in which humanity and the sanctity of our planet is respected? Now let me give you some context, okay? The first thing that you need to understand is that our society, the context in which our society exists, is the context of a class society. A society based off of class. Now, class, is not a place where you go to learn, but rather a grouping of people arbitrarily upon their relations to how things in this society are produced. It is very simple. It's a very simple thing to grasp, and it is a very basic thing to grasp in the context of our society. Now, many people think and believe wholeheartedly that class is within our human nature. They believe that it is within our nature to be classist, or to be separated, segregated, based off of class. The way I view it, this cannot be further from the truth. I believe that when human beings are created, and when they are born, whether by a higher power or completely secularly, that we are born good. You look at the way small children treat other children and treat moral dilemmas, whether it be in a clinical study or within everyday life, and you will soon understand that human beings are not born with the inclination to be segregated. We're just not. We are not born to see race. We are not born to see social classes. You wonder why? It's because it's a simple view that within nature, biological nature, these things do not exist. Humans are animals. We are animals. And we have forgotten on a society-wide basis what makes us animalistic. And the reason why I say that we're at a crossroads is because we have decided to be barbaric in the way that we, separately from our nature as animals, to segregate ourselves from one another, whether it be based off of class or race or sexuality or religion, whatever it may be. We have decided to, instead of living in an egalitarian and some would call an animalistic society, one based off of meeting everybody's needs, to being one where we segregate, where we are not animalistic, but where we are barbaric. Barbaric. And capitalism, the very economic system that we live under in not only the United States, but worldwide, is the very cornerstone of this human barbarity. Capitalism is killing the planet. It kills many people every year. It exploits. It is an inherently exploitative system. And it is going to lead it is going to lead to two things. It is going to have to lead to two things. Or rather, it will have to be succeeded by one of two things. Very simply. The one is that capitalism will have to be succeeded by a dystopia where man's inability to proliferate goodness and egalitarianism is gone. It will be completely gone. Within this society, class system, which is a completely arbitrary and unnatural phenomenon, will be the main separation. It already is the main separation, but it will be almost feudal. It will be worse than feudal. It will be completely despotic. I'm telling you right now. If the inequities and the destructiveness of capitalism will continue beyond the next few years, capitalism and the whole economic system that human beings find ourselves governed under will begin to, in a lack of better words, eat itself. It will collapse. It will not just cease to exist, but we will be held captive under a disgustingly, not even animalistic, but a pre, or maybe even a post-animalistic society or condition in which humans will not be seen as humans, but we will be seen as lower than what we already are. Humans, we are not greedy by nature. There is a difference between greed and wanting your basic needs to be met. A man or a woman is not greedy because they want to be fed. They are only greedy when they want to take what others produce. That is it. That is greed. It's a psychological phenomenon. It is not a natural thing to be greedy or to want to take more than what you need. And it is a completely man-made societal concept to exploit. Not just to take. Animals take from each other all the time. And they kill each other all the time. But what separates us from animals is not that we can reason or we can use tools, but what I would argue is the most fundamental difference between us and animals is that we have systems, despite our own reason and natural inclination to be good. Despite all these things, we have institutions that rob people. We have institutions that steal. Not on an individual basis we steal or we take or we kill, but we have created entire entities, societal entities, that take, that rob from other people. This is what separates us from animals. See, an animal will kill what it needs and will kill what it wants, but a human will kill anything and everything simply for a self-reward. That is not nature. That is not natural. Because capitalism is killing the whole ecosystem. It's killing all of Earth. It's causing global warming. It's causing, major shifts in the climate. It's causing overproduction. These things are not natural. These things are not okay. And this leads me to the second possibility of capitalism, and really the future of human existence. And that future is the future of liberation. Now, when I say liberation, I don't mean that all of your problems will go away, but I'm saying that the human system, the innately artificial system of capitalism and class, will not exist. We will simply return to being animals that cooperate. That's what we are. We are animals that have the capacity to cooperate, rationally cooperate. And within this rational cooperation has come institutions that rob, plunder, kill, and rape for our own good. These are things that cannot be allowed to proliferate. These are things that cannot be allowed, possibly allowed, reasonably allowed to proliferate. These are things that if humans remained rational and reasonable, and I would even say animalistic, if we respected nature, if we respected our own nature, we would not allow these systems to proliferate. These are two choices in 2024 going into 2025. These are our choices every day. These are the choices that I make. These are the choices that you, the viewer, make day after day. Are we going to continue to allow our species to continue to fall into barbarity and disgusting, self-serving behavior? Or will we fight and coincide with our own nature to build a society that benefits everything? Not just everyone, but everything. Every example of existence should be respected, whether it be an animal or a human, because frankly, I can't tell the difference between the two. It is disgusting and deprived to think that there is any difference between the two. And I'm telling you right now that if we continue to disrespect our planet, if we continue to disrespect ourselves, there will be dire consequences. So there are two options, dear viewer. There are two options available: barbarity or liberation. That's it. That's all. And you have to make these decisions day by day, action by action, year by year. When you wake up in the morning, before you speak, before you talk, you need to think, is this going to be the day that I personally allow the human species to devolve into madness and barbarity? Or is today the day that I'm going to fight for not only self-betterment, but the betterment of all mankind? Dear viewer, I implore, I insist of you to think about these options every time you speak, every time you read, every time you act, every time anytime you do anything. I implore you to think of these two options, because a day is going to come very soon in your life, in which the choice will no longer be yours. I'm telling you, the choice will no longer be yours, because somebody will have made it for you. Thank you. Thank you for watching.